Right now I'm finally doing the kind of work I've always wanted to do as an actor.
Of course.
And I don't have that time. But I will make that time at some point of time. And I will do it. Direction is addictive. You know what? Unfortunately, a lot of people haven't gotten the ending. Unfortunately. And I should have pushed the envelope a little bit more. She not only sits in the bathtub, she takes the hand shower.
Hi guys, this is Ankita. You're tuned into PeepingMoon.com, and today let's talk to someone who's wearing multiple hats at this very particular moment, not just in acting but also directing and bringing forth a story who I think every woman out there can resonate somewhat a bit. Married or not, trust me. Please welcome Shefali Shah, who's going to take us through what went behind making Happy Birthday Mummy Ji. Hi Shefali.
Hi Ankita.
Shefali, I'll start the first thing first. That was the very first reaction. Did you observe this happening around you? Because this feels just, just so real, I would say. Like, this is not something which anyone would have to be surprised. You can sense it around. Yeah.
Not just around, it's happened to me. I mean, it's too close to home. I've seen this happen in my house. I've seen this happen, maybe not exactly the same premise, but it happens all the time. When you're a homemaker, you're a wife, you're a mother, you're recognized by the relationships you have. And everyone starts taking you for granted. More so, you start taking yourself for granted. And suddenly you reach a point of exasperation where you don't want to do this anymore. You just don't want to do this anymore. And I'm sure, I mean, women I know, all my friends, my sister, my mom, everyone's felt this at some point of time or the other. And it's like, please, bas karo.
But what was it for you, Shefali, that you decided to pen down the story, act in it, direct in it? What was the point for you that you decided that it needs to be told?
Well, I've been wanting to direct for a very long time. I wasn't sure I could take on the responsibility of a full-fledged feature. During the lockdown, I did not sit and pen it. It came to me. And then I put it down. And, during the lockdown, we all realized how unpredictable life is. And what we have is today and now. And it's like a switch that went on in my head. And I said, I want to direct this and I want to do it now. And yeah.
And that's how it happened. Shefali, this is a beautiful scene in the film, which I think was the moment for me. I started getting more invested. That you're sitting by the pool, you unclap your bra hook, and there's this shoulders. This like it's a deep heave you take, and the next thing is we see you coming out of the pool with a mismatched set of clothing. What was behind that scene? Because for me, that was it's like you've taken down a burden from your shoulders, and for once, you don't care how everyone sees you around you. You just want to be you.
Completely. That moment is the turning point for Suchi as well, where it's a release. It's a sense of that's it. I am opening myself up to whatever life can offer me. And I'm not going to be held back by anything that binds me. And I think it was one of the first things we all did in the lockdown.
I think we are still very much trying to come over it.
It was like the first thing that a lot of women told me is that when we had to go back to work, we were like, shit, we have to wear a bra now.
Oh, yeah. And I mean, I know so many people, including, I think every one of us, that the thought of just going back to that particular garment is not very appealing at the moment.
Still, yeah, it was just like, kaftan pehn ke, pajama pehn ke ghumte raho na, matlab kaun itni mehnat karega? Wear a bathrobe and move on in life.
Totally. Totally. There was this one more scene, Suchi. You open the movie saying that your mother-in-law is Jen. And in the end, we see you just devouring on this nice plate of fish and rice which you make for yourself and this glass of sangria. It hit close to home because I know people. I have seen it just back that even if you like something to eat, but if your family or if the people around you are not very fond of that particular meal, you even let go something as basic as your taste buds. How much surrender does a woman do when she decides to step into the role of being a daughter-in-law or a wife in general, or just even a mother for that matter?
Some women are forced to doing it, and some women do it out of choice. And of course, later on they feel like, oh shit, why? But as far as that is concerned, I think that's a very small sacrifice. It's not like Suchi doesn't go out and have knowledge.
Oh yeah,
it's just
of
that
course.
she doesn't do it at home. It's the respect she maintains of what the home is, what everyone expects out of her. It's a small respect she maintains, and I don't see a big deal in it. We all have to respect each other. And choti baaton mein, you don't have to make a big deal about it. And also, you pick the fights you want to fight. You choose the fights you want to fight. Do you want to fight over this? No, because I can go out and eat. But the bigger things, yeah. And she has a payback. She has a complete payback. Yeah.
But before I move to the payback, Shruti, one more thing. Do you think the appreciation which we, even like individuals like us, we shower on our mothers or, our aunts and who all we say, is we are pretty, I would say chindi is the word with that, because we don't recognize what all also they are single-handedly doing.
Absolutely.
You are hosting a party, but then when your husband takes over that party, nobody realizes for a fact that you were alone at a particular location doing everything all by yourself, and suddenly all the efforts just go in vain.
Yeah. Yes, we don't appreciate enough. We really don't appreciate it. Even being women, we don't appreciate it.
Yeah, we don't.
Yeah. We just take it for granted.
This is a beautiful open ending you have left. Like in the bathtub, it's like let anyone think whatever. I just want those 14 days, those whatever that time is for myself. Why did you keep it just as this like beautiful open ending?
You know what? Unfortunately, a lot of people haven't gotten the ending. Unfortunately. And I should have pushed the envelope a little bit more. She not only sits in the bathtub, she takes the hand shower.
I know, I was coming to that. I think you just said it yourself. It's like her release.
It's her release. It's like I don't need anybody.
Anybody.
It's my happy ending.
Yeah.
Thank God you got it. Thank you. Somebody thought I had committed suicide, which was even worse. Yeah.
In fact,
So does she kill herself in the end? I was like, what? Why?
Why? What is there to kill herself? In fact, that's a very beautiful way to say that I'm complete. Like I'm all good for myself as well. We just make it so complicated for all of us that we need this and that.
It's like मैं और मेरा hand shower अक्सर ये बातें करते हैं. It's almost that. But it's a stuff that women do not admit as openly as men do. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think it also starts a conversation on a very serious note that it's okay talking about you're opening your bra clasp or we are having a hand shower at the end moment to particularly point out your own satisfaction. We need to start having normal conversations around things which we just make too much out of it.
I think now all the interviews I'm only going to talk about the hand shower. I don't want to talk about it.
I am not giving it to anyway. I'm just keeping it for myself. But Shefali,
no, please give it out. Very sad.
Don't worry, then I'll do the honors to put it out.
Please do.
But Shefali, the best love part for me in the film was just you. There was no other character, there was nothing else. There was just one single person who was emoting everything, and we just had voice lapses or whatever the voice conversations we could hear. Was it a little bit daunting also? You are acting all by yourself. This is your product and you're directing it as well. Did it become at any time a little too much on your plate?
Yes. And also, one of the things that I was very conscious and worried about was that it should not become a showreel or it should not become indulgent. I was very, very cautious about that. Secondly, we were talking about isolation. So I didn't want anyone around. But at the same time, the chaos of her family, you can actually visualize that family.
Yeah.
You can visualize her husband. You can visualize that party that's going on in the end and the noise that is going on. And that in contrast to the silence. So it was, honestly, I was the only actor who was available, who was okay to put herself at risk to shoot in a pandemic, and who wouldn't charge. So I said, okay, great. I will put all that money into making the film. But irrespective, I did not think of casting anyone else. I did not. I wanted to do it. Like I said, Suchi is almost like an alter ego. I understood her. And if you go to see, it's not about her close-ups. It was about that space. It's
there are not many
detailing.
close-ups.
Yeah,
there are not many close-ups.
And which is something I discussed with Ishit, when we started. I said, very rarely do I want to go to a close-up. Very rarely. I want to see the place. I want to see the smallest of things she has done. And then I want to see that open, vast, just expanse.
For me, the last shot was beautiful, not just as we discussed, but the frame in itself was so beautifully lit that she's there's the scandals all around her, and it's a beautiful setup. I really loved it.
It was, you can visualize something as a director, and then you chew people's brains off with reference images, and this is what I want, and this is exactly what I want, and etc., etc. But finally, they have to do it for you. And my production designer, Komal, my DOP, who I mean, he's a magician. I adore Ishit and respect him so much. Antara, who edited the film, she was my other countermind. So that we couldn't get indulgent. I relied on her tremendously. Ishit was my pair of eyes. I mean, and he elevated the film to another level. Or Ganesh sir, I mean, I've had the honor of working with Ganesh Gangadharan, and he's a very, very senior sound designer. And sound design mattered to this film. Or Prasad, with the music. I mean, my reference for the music was La Vivienne Rose and No Regrets, both by Edith Piaf. I wanted to almost get the rights, but I realized I would have to sell my children, their grandchildren, and nobody would buy them also. So it was like, I figured that, okay, I can't get rights to this. So I really chewed these people's brains. I really did. Because I wanted it exactly the way I wanted it. And they've all elevated it to another level. Like in the end, I wanted it to reach that Philharmonic crescendo.
And I think it pretty well reached. But what was your husband's reaction to this? You're having a filmmaker at home. Did he actually sit and give you feedback on, okay, this is...
So I spoke to Vipul first. I said, I'm going to direct. I didn't ask. I just told him. I said, I'm going to direct. And this is a gamble I want to take. I don't want anything from Sunshine. I mean, we have a production house and it's as much mine as it is. I mean, it's our production house. But I was very clear. I said, this is a gamble I want to play. It's a personal gamble. I need a backing. Give me one person, and I knew who the person was. My co-producer, Ashin Shah, who's been with us for years. I've seen that kid grow, and he's just incredible. He's Vipul's right hand. And I said, just give me Ashin to run the show and figure the logistics for it. And that is exactly how it happened. And he saw the film and he liked the film. He said it's a very, it's an important film, but it's told in a very humorous and light way. So it's easier to digest. A lot of people will identify with it. And he's proud of me, which is good. I'm proud of him too, for being proud of me.
My first thought as soon as I ended the film was, what I wanted somewhat of you from Dil Dhadakne Do, your character, you somehow gave it to me by Suchi. Suchi completed what I somehow thought maybe DDD would do with the arc. That was, I don't know if it makes any sense, but that's how I just saw you in that whole picture.
Yeah, but I think Neelam Mehra could only do this much.
Yeah.
Suchi chooses to do that extra. She walks that extra mile. Also, doesn't mean she's abandoning her family forever.
Of course.
She's just being selfish for a couple of days, and rightfully so.
And I think everyone has to start understanding that there's no need to have regrets for being selfish to have some time for yourself as
That's
well.
exactly why I wanted that song, No Regrets.
I think we just take ourselves a little too seriously. We just need to all chill, as I
Yeah,
say.
just like, matlab, ठीक है यार, होता है.
But Shefali, on a very, very happier note for this one, will I or any one of us see you venturing into direction full time? Because this is lovely. In 12, 13 minutes, you ended up telling an entire story. What about that good 160-minute saga, if we have to ask from you on a cello line?
It will happen, but I took close to 2 months to prep for a 14-minute film. So I can only imagine how much time I will take to prep for a full-fledged film. And I want to do it. I don't know any other way of doing it. Right now, I'm finally doing the kind of work I've always wanted to do as an actor.
Of course.
And I don't have that time. But I will make that time at some point of time. And I will do it. Direction is addictive. Now I've tasted blood, so...
Shefali, this 2.0 version of yours is something which I don't think anybody has any qualms with. I think this is the most loved version. As an actor, as you said, that these are the kind of roles which are coming your way, are the roles you would love to do. And then there is direction and you running the show. At this particular stage in your career as an artist, do you think that this is probably the best time? Everyone says that there is one good golden time in your career. Shall I say this is yours?
I will say that it has begun. And I'm hoping it gets even more goldener. If there is a word like that. But yes, Delhi Crime became my turning point. And it's prompted directors to cast me in leads, to give me age-appropriate role. All the projects I'm doing, I'm one of the primary central characters, and they're fantastic scripts and they're great parts, and I'm really excited about it.
And I think I'm equally excited to hear what the next story you're going to tell after Suchi, because this one was as real as it could get and very close to home, if I have to finish it on that note.
I want to release Someday, which is my first baby. And it's doing the festival circuit right now. It's showcasing at the Stuttgart Film Festival in Germany. And I want to release it. I haven't yet figured when and where, but I think I will do that before the end of the season.
But thank you.
And I want to direct my third shot, which is also on isolation. Yeah, I'm dying to do it. Itching to do it.
I think isolation and your tangent is pretty much matching at the moment. You're really, really giving us the stories which we all thought of, but we're like, kaun batayega?
Huh. Well, I'm glad to do it.
Thank you for this lovely little gem, which landed on my Frankie screen out of nowhere, and I loved it. Not because you're sitting here, because as we discussed, there was those 2-3 moments which we all are going through at some point or the other in life. Thank you for Happy Birthday, Mummy Ji. And just like you released the balloons in the air, I think you should be doing this for the success as well, because I'm pretty much sure people are going to love it.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
And as I promised, I am going to take out the Shah scene definitely and put it out there.
Yes, please do. People are not understanding. I'm very sad. Maybe
no.
have pushed that envelope a little bit. But
I don't think
it was subtle enough and it made a statement.
Yeah, and guys, Suchi doesn't kill herself. That is the end of it. So please don't get ideas at all.
Yeah, please. She has no intentions of killing herself.
But thank you, Shefali. Thank you for this lovely little gem and for the lovely interview as well. Thank you so much.
Thank you. You take care and stay safe.
Thank you. Thank you.
Bye.